What's up you guys, Luke here and welcome to this very special video explaining how to get onto a high round on Black Ops 2 Mob of the Dead Zombies gameplay. And the best way I've found to do it is just to basically pace yourself, don't rush. As you can see here, I've got to a high rave. I've actually pack-punched 2 guns, so I've actually got some high gameplay. This is how it plays out. But I've definitely advised you to just take your time. This map has got many actual open areas and fully utilise them because there's many long corridors in this game. So try and use that because these guns, most guns in we can bath the wall. In fact, this map are actually much more long range. As you can see, I've got the Thompson and I've also got the Mini Uzi, both pack punched and both ready to kick ass. But the actual map is quite a wide map, but also it's one of these maps which you can get into choke points, you can get stuck in corners, but you're less likely to compared to other maps. Now, as you can see here, I'm running with two pack punch guns. I have got Juggernaut, I've got Electric Cherry, and I have got Quick Reload. Or Speed Cola, in fact. But if you don't know what Electric Cherry does, when you reload, it gives a short little electric burst all around you. Probably, I'll say, probably about 5 meters or like 10 feet or something like that. Probably less than 5 meters, but about 10 foot away from you. And any local zombies will get electrocuted and they will die or at least get stunned. So what this does is gives you ample opportunity to reload and to get into corners. And I definitely advise you to stay at this area once you get to a high wave. This is a good camping position. Now in Mob of the Dead, I advise you not to camp unless you actually can fully secure something. If you know the place, if you know where the actual zombies spawn, then you can actually find a good place to camp. If you don't know where the zombies spawn, then I advise you to just kind of keep moving. Always look around though, because they can come from any angle, so I definitely advise you to keep looking. But if you have a good idea of the map, camp and stay calm. I definitely advise you to stay calm and basically follow some tutorials. I mean, I got to this high rave with UK Sambo, but basically the reason why we did this is we was following tutorials all the way. If we didn't know what to do, we just got a crawler and we waited. We just bided our time because you do know that probably the biggest thing in how you get knocked down in zombies, or at least get like knocked down and die as well, I suppose. Probably the best way of doing that in this is by pushing your luck, really. You go for something that isn't there. As you can see, that I've got quite close there, but I think Electric Cherry definitely comes in handy here. But once you get all the parts and stuff, you can quickly get into the plane. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but once you get into the plane, you then pack a bunch of weapons and you come back here. Now, I definitely advise you use this spot. And this spot is next to the Electric Cherry, and you may be wondering why it's a good spot. Now, the best reason for this spot is because it's a wide open area. You won't get stuck in many corners. There's no corners to get stuck in. As long as you keep going up and down this main walkway, you may find lots of zombies, but as long as you have Electric Cherry, you'll be quite safe to do this. As you can see there, I think UK Sambo got knocked down, so he has to get Juggernaut, and this is where the danger falls in, because as you can see, we can actually go to the Juggernaut area, and you'll see the map gets much tighter, and there's much more corners, so that kind of stops your field of view. You can't see as far as actual down the map, and that will obstruct how you shoot and how you kill zombies, and they will get much closer to you. And actually, one other thing you might notice there is the actual Juggernaut seems to be a bit corrupted. I don't know if that's part of a bigger Easter egg, but we did actually get the main Easter egg, and that was worth 75 gamer score, which I definitely advise you to do if you can do it. But it does take many hours. It probably took us about 1.5 hours to get this far, because it basically meant we was on YouTube a lot, just searching how to do stuff, because it is quite tricky, and it's quite annoying and quite frustrating to say the least. But as long as you keep up here, and I keep saying, if you know what you're doing, you can camp. If you don't know what you're doing, go around the map. Try and learn the map. Try and learn the spawns. Try and learn where things come from. Also, if you've got a good spot and you've got a nice open up area, you should be able to survive to a high wave. Like, that's why I say this one. Even if you get one of them huge big bosses, actually it's not a huge boss, but he's kind of the equivalent of George Romero in this game. If you remember the original Black Ops, George Romero was one of these huge bosses which you took about 1,000,000 bullets to kill. Now this one is like the prison officer, the warden. He takes about 200 pack-a-punch bullets, about 300 standard bullets, but he should go down quite easily if you know what to do. Now the best way is to kind of kite him, train him, whatever you want to call him. Just keep him behind you. Now you can turn around, you can just pivot around the spot. I don't care. As long as you can get a good angle, a good distance, you should be able to kill him quite easily. As you can see, we just mowing through these waves. We know what we're doing. A friend comes online, but as long as you know what you're doing, as long as you plan what you're ahead, as long as you don't make any wild risks, this map rewards people from being cautious. Not many maps actually have ever done this before, but it's one of these things with a wide open map. Although people say it's a bit haunted and stuff, as long as you plan your route there, you should be okay. As long as you communicate. I definitely advise, if you're playing on actual more than one person, communicate, because you don't want to get in the way of the other person. Now, this actually did happen a couple of times during this high level, and a couple of us did get knocked down. I think at the end of this, when we did eventually die, I think I went down 4 times, and Nuka Semper went down 6 times. Several of them went down to other people's mistakes. As you can see here, this actual huge warden does spawn every 5 rounds on multiplayer, and on single player I believe it's 10 raids. But we actually took him down here, and this is where the big mistake happened. As you can see here, his helmet comes up, and that means he's 50% health. I don't know why, but he somehow got on the gondola with us, and that kind of led to a big shitstorm. But we both got knocked down because we were in a confined space, and that's the problem here. He does take a lot of bullets, and if you do get stuck in a corner, if you do get in a confined space, that will lead to almost constant death. But luckily we was able to revive ourselves here, although basically we was out of our position, we was out of our comfort zone, we was out of ammo. So this kind of did end as our downfall. But as long as you have a constant supply of ammo and you know what you're doing, as I can't stress this enough, that's why I keep saying it. You have to plan what you're doing. I'm not saying you have to be a smart person. You just have to not take random risks. You can't take risks like this. It's one of these maps, as I keep saying, it rewards you for being cautious, which doesn't really happen. Because look here, there's this huge long alleyway, which, you know, it's a good 100, 200 feet long. You can easily pick off zombies from here. You can easily see zombies. It's like single route zombies. You can just easily pick them off. And as you can see there, UK Samurai went down because he got stuck. And of course here, sadly, I do go down because I get myself stuck. Actually, no, I think this is where I actually saved him because I got a nuke there. But that was quite fortunate there, actually, that nuke, because I probably should have gone down there. I probably could have gone down, but I didn't. So that's quite lucky there. But as I say, we kind of got out of our comfort zone, and that's one of those things. As long as you find these areas to stand, as long as you find these areas to camp, as long as you find these areas which is safe, open, not closed in, as long as you get safe pick-off points, as long as you get safe areas you can run to, you should be good. Now, I'm not guaranteeing high rave straight away, because it does take a lot of time, and you have to put like 2 hours into this the actual gameplay to get to a high rave, but for these Pack-a-Punch guns, it is definitely worthwhile. And here, there's a slight glitch when you try and pick up the Tommy gun here. I don't know if you can see it. This is basically my downfall. You try and walk up to it. Now, the actual hold X to collect the gun is very small. And to prove there, we did actually Pack-a-Punch the gun legitimately. There's some actual cans. Now, here's where I'll go down. You can see here, just trying to get the ammo out. Randomly trying to pick that up. And I just died. No ammo, no time, no luck, no guns. And then eventually we go down, and that's the end. Survive 19 rounds. So that's how to survive long. I know it's not really a definitive idea. That's just kind of a good place to camp and a good place to stay, and just general tips how to get to a high rave. I know there's no tips how to get to the actual high rave, but I've definitely hopefully told you how to survive at a high rave. Thank you for watching. Good.